Change is stressful. We've been absorbing an awful lot of change. Every time you turn around, you have to follow the news constantly to know the new regulations, where you can go and where you can't go, what's closed and what remains open. And it's a constantly moving target. And this is stressful for us because, we often imagine that our lives won't change. Back in the early 90s, there was a country song by Pam Tillis, and the tagline of the song was, "Everybody call me Cleopatra because I'm Queen of Denial." Well, it's a big royal family, and there's a lot of denial, and we engage in it all the time. And one of the things about which we are in denial frequently is that our lives won't change. Sadly, this happens when people are in a bad place and they get depressed and sometimes despairing because they imagine that their life isn't going to change for the better, ever. But also when things are going fine for us, we can imagine that there'll never be challenges, there'll never be things that we have to deal with that are difficult. And that's equally untrue. Right now, we're all absorbing a lot of change all at once, and it's challenging, it's difficult, it's stressful. It calls forth from us reserves of strength that we don't often feel. And so it's important for us to cling to the things that do not change. The love that's in our lives, in our families and friendships, our sense of community that is not broken by not being in touch with one another. Our integrity, our ability to live properly even in stressful times. Hold on to those things. But of course, as you know I'm going to tell you, rely upon the unchanging love of God. In the 5th century, Israel was utterly defeated by the Babylonians, and they destroyed their capital city. They destroyed the temple, the very place where the ancient Jews understood God to come and touch the earth. And they lost that. And they lost all of their leaders, sent into exile in Babylon. And in that moment of crisis, where they knew nothing of what was coming next, Jeremiah wrote these words, which are familiar to you. You'll know these when I read them for you. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. This day, and in the days to come, as we absorb more changes, most of them quite unwelcome, bear that thought in your mind and in your heart. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. That's true today and tomorrow and forever. Be at peace, my friends. Amen.